welcome back to my YouTube channel where I highlight buy-to-let property deals. These are live deals across each month of the year that you can obviously have a look at on this YouTube clip. I share all the figures, all the details of these buy-to-let deals in different areas of the UK. If you're a first-time visitor on this channel, we source and manage different deals all over the UK, different areas of the UK, whether those are HMO deals, properties that need a bit of work doing to them, need a bit of love and care, student property investments, and of course holiday lets and serviced accommodation, which is really our bread and butter, where you get those higher returns, where we then can come in and help you manage the property, look after it for you, so it's a fully hands-off investment for yourself, and then we can share all the research, including the returns, which I'm going to share in this YouTube clip. I'm going to be sharing you a few deals, as well as a few property deals that are upcoming for the month of September 2024. Now, if you are a subscriber, apologies about the slight delay in the summer. Obviously, I've had a newborn son arrive. I'm currently moving property as well, so it's quite stressful at home with all the children and the missus, as you can appreciate, with her decorating skills. So, yeah, sit back, enjoy. You'll have a chance at the end of the clip to tell me which option you're interested in, or if you are interested in any of the upcoming deals for September as well that are not yet on the market, do get in touch and let me know, and I'll keep you in the loop with them. Okay, enjoy, thank you. Kicking off property option deal number one. Now this property deal, we have marketed it before. We sold the site back in 2023. It is currently fully sold out, but we do have one apartment that's come back on the market due to financial circumstances, unfortunately, due to inflation and other issues like mortgage interest rates. But this apartment is £107,000. It's a one-bedroom apartment situated on the second floor of the building. The building itself is a Grade 2 listed building, built in the late 1600s by the Old Town Sheriff of Hull itself. It's actually part of the historic tour of Hull, as you can see from the images. So yeah, it's built in the Old Town. You do have two areas of the city centre itself, sort of broken down two areas. You've got the modernised sort of city centre, as well as the Old Town that's attached. Personally, I do prefer the Old Town. I like the old cobbled roads, the old brickworks within the buildings, which they have retained in this building itself. Obviously, they have to, with it being a listed building. So you have old brick wall sort of features that come with the apartments. Now, the apartment is currently tenanted. It's getting sort of a low £550, £560 per calendar month. The idea with this is to vacate the property, which is something we can help with, and offering the tenants 2 months' notice and moving the property onto serviced accommodation, just like our other landlords have done in the same building. If you want to have a look at live links, some of our properties in this building have just gone live now on serviced accommodation. We do own a website called guests.co.uk. So as you can see from the slide, these properties have just gone live as we speak today. Now, we have took on roughly around just over 20 properties within the Hull city centre. A few are in the modern side, and majority of the serviced accommodation we're taking on is in the Old Town, which is this one itself. Reason being is because of the character, because of the area. It backs onto the river in Hull as well. Now, the big selling point, I suppose, for Hull as an area is the population growth. It is the job growth as well in this particular area. But not only that, perfect for serviced accommodation for travellers. The average nightly rate in Hull, even just for a one bed, is competing with the likes of Manchester. £90 a night is the average nightly rate throughout the whole year for this particular area. This means if you allow us to manage the property for you, you can see high returns of around 14% net return. And when I said net, that's after all management, that's after all bills, cleaning, etc, etc. The only thing we do not factor in is mortgage, which we can do now if you wish. So you're looking at mortgage rates of around sort of 5 to 6% interest rate at the moment. Now, on a repayment, that's going to roughly come out at around £550 to £600 per calendar month. That's on a repayment. Interest only around sort of £400 to £500 per calendar month on the interest only payment. Now, even on a standard AST, it's covering itself. Once you factor in the 8% management fee on a normal let, that's forgetting serviced accommodation, you're still looking at sort of covering itself in terms of the money going out, the money coming in. However, on serviced accommodation, you can double your letting rate. So you're probably looking at profiting anywhere between a minimum of £400 upwards of around £700 per calendar month, depending on the occupancy rates if you are looking at the figures now. But that's even after mortgage. So property investments, even with the higher interest rates, can still be profitable per calendar month. completely appreciate that on a standard AST, you're probably covering your own costs at the moment with the current tenant in, whereas if you increase the rents, the normal rates for a one bed, especially modernised like this, you're looking at around sort of £650 to £700 per calendar month. So there are routes as well for you to increase your rent to match what's going on in the city centre. But that sort of concludes Unit 1. As you can see, well finished, modernised, recently finished around 6 months ago. And as you can see, we're already moving on in terms of bookings. The properties will need a furniture pack. Furniture packs for a one bed are coming in at roughly £5,000 to £5,500. Again, that's detrimental to you and what you want to include in the furniture pack. Our management team here can help you with the ins and outs of what to include in the furniture pack, what not to include in the furniture pack. There's no point you wasting money if not needed. But yeah, Wi-Fi, all that, we can help you with the setup and move you on, just like we're doing with our other landlords in this block. So that concludes number 1. I don't want to spend too much time in it because we spent quite a lot of time in it in 2023 when we sold all the apartments in here. Some are doing standard ASTs and they're increasing the rents, and some are doing short-term lets. And rightly so. I mean, if it was me, I'd be doing short-term lets. So if you want any help on the short-term and serviced accommodation model, I can send you all the information at the end of this clip, as well as bringing you more involved in how the ins and outs works. But we have employed staff in the whole area now to help with key handling. They're carrying out local advertisements with the likes of the docks. The docks is the biggest selling point because we really want to sort of advertise to those workers coming in and out of the city itself, even travellers that are coming in on ferries from the likes of Amsterdam, and we want to be targeting those travellers as well. So if you want more details on that and the logistics of how all that works and where the demand's coming from, happy to share the information on email. So yeah, let me know at the end of the clip. That's option 1. Let's move on to option 2. So option number 2, a little bit quirky this one, not the simple option like the one in Hull where everything's sort of done, dusted, ready to go. This option does need work. It's a property that's situated in Lytham St Annes. Now if you don't know the area, it's situated in the northwest, not far from the likes of Blackpool, Preston. It's even got close connections on the motorway to the likes of Liverpool, Manchester as well. I've actually travelled through there quite a lot, being from the northwest myself. Now Lytham St Annes, very different from Blackpool in a way, a little bit more upmarket than Blackpool, very close to the beach where these apartments are, 10-minute walk in total, but a very really nice area. Fantastic for families, even the older generation, in the cafes, restaurants and stuff that Lytham St Annes has got to offer. We've currently gone live on a couple of apartments already in this area, and to give you an idea, we're already approaching a 70% occupancy rate in 4 weeks, with an average nightly rate around £70 to £75 is currently what we're achieving in that area just in 1 month. Now we usually set around 65% in year 1, although we target 75% in year 1. We always work with our figures based on 65%, just so you as the investor buying it for the first time can get a good understanding of your figures and the lowest possible income that you're going to achieve. So even on 65% occupancy, as you can see from the figures, around 9-10% net is easily achieved on those figures. And we do over conservative as well in terms of the bills. We do inflate the bills as well. But the apartments themselves, as you can see, they are a bit tired. They do need a bit of a uplift, including the fascias and the exterior of the building as well. That will be refurbed and that will be regenerated, including the car park. All apartments come with car parking spaces selected to each apartment. As you can see, it'll have a secured gate as well and access for people coming in. And again, like our other apartments, we're likely to do key fobs and key security locks for tenants that are booking in as well. Now we have again employed someone to manage and look after our Preston apartments as well as these ones in Lytham. So they will be doing local advertisement to drive bookings, to drive short-term let bookings as well in the area. But the beach is absolutely wonderful, beautiful. If you're looking at the clip, as you can see, it's amazing. It's a really, really nice upmarket area. I put it right up there with similar to the likes of Ross Niger. It's just that the property prices haven't caught up. I mean, Ross Niger, you can't find a one bed below £250,000 at the moment. And it's very similar sort of feeling when you walk around Rossnagh, similar to this in Lytham St Annes. Now, the deal itself is a back-to-back purchase, so the payment plan is a bit different. You've got to put down a reservation deposit. You will do with Hull as well, but the reservation deposit, you then put down an exchange amount and you officially complete on the apartment. A 10% deposit is then required to then start the works on the properties, which the developer's already lined up. We've worked with this developer in other sites like Chester, the other site I've just mentioned in Lytham that we've now gone live with bookings. We did the exact same structure there as well with Mark and Neil, good friends of ours and colleagues of developers. We were planning to work with them all across the country. We've done work with them in the likes of Sunderland, so if you've watched my recent YouTube clips, the one in Sunderland that they're now doing as well, that again, and that are going to be let out to students. That one, this one, of course, is more tailored for service accommodation of where it's located. But it gets lots of tourism every single year, lots of travellers every single year. It's absolute goldmine if you're looking for a simple cash investment. This isn't one you're going to be able to mortgage. It is a straightforward cash investment. Prices from £90,000 and they're all one beds with parking. So yeah, that concludes that one. I will show you the link on guests. This is the live link in Lytham that we've got at the moment, just so you can see, again, with the same developers, what sort of finish that we're looking for. Again, you will probably need furniture. Prices, again, around sort of £5,000 to £5,500 to get them moved in. I know the guys in the office will help you with the furniture packs and, you know, sourcing from different companies to go in, measure up and do all the moving in with the furniture, do it for you, and we can give them access once it's done. Now, once you are obviously in and you reserve the apartment, and you're involved, we do keep in touch throughout the whole build programme, what deliveries are happening, videos of the properties from start to finish. And again, it's not your concern in terms of vacating the property. Again, the developer, similar to the one in Hull, will then step in and do all the vacancy, which will roughly take 2 months. And the refurb work will roughly take 4 months. So all in 5 to 6 months. If you reserved it today, 5 to 6 month time is how long it'll take for you to hand over the keys and for us to move in on a serviced accommodation. Of course, the option is yours. If you want to move in and live there, you can. We are getting a lot of calls. We've got quite a lot of local demand from people that just want to live inside there, and rightly so. Fantastic area, right on the back of the golf course as well, as I mentioned. So yeah, if you're interested, let me know at the end of the clip. Again, if you want to know the ins and outs, I can email you the full details, including the works that are going to be carried out, floor plans, etc, etc, for you to make a well-informed decision if option 2 is for you. I want to move on to what's upcoming, because I'm always highlighting property deals in these YouTube clips, but I suppose for you guys as well, what would help is to have an understanding of what property deals that we are working on right now for rather this month or the next month. At the moment, we've got a site coming up in Doncaster. Prices around sort of £130,000, and again, perfect for serviced accommodation. That area again is something that we've managed to obviously speak with our relocations, like the NHS and the local business parks. We do use the likes of Amazon as well for relocating clients, using our short-term let properties to attract them in. So Doncaster is upcoming. Now that's going to be in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Is looking like we're going to launch that property deal. We're just going through the phase at the moment of obviously negotiating the price. For those investors that are not aware, it's quite a lengthy job in terms of all the background work that goes on that you might not be aware of. We do try and negotiate the price to be down to suit our investors. If it's not lower than the local market price, then it's not an investment in our eyes. Not just that, what does take quite a lengthy amount of time is the leases. As you're aware, a lot of these serviced accommodation properties only really work with apartments, not these two up, two down out terraced houses or these houses in the middle of nowhere. I've tried it myself on my own, doesn't work. So again, I wish it did work, but it just doesn't work. It needs to be in areas rather next to businesses, high demand areas such as city centres and town centres. So again, when we do take on these properties, we do a lot of extensive research on the lease itself. It's got to allow short-term lets. As I mentioned, we like leases over 250 years, ideally a 1,000-year lease, zero ground rent. We like the service charge to be below £2 per square foot. Again, audited so we know where every pound is being sent from a management side. So as you can appreciate, it's quite a lot of work. It takes months, if not sometimes weeks, depending on if the deal's good or not, and a lot of work from our management team to work out if there's going to be a demand from a serviced accommodation point of view. Because if it's not profitable for you, especially with the current mortgage interest rates, we understand that when you factor that in, you still want to be profiting a good amount of money per calendar month. If it's not worth it for you and it's not worth it for us, then we're just not going to take it on. So again, it does take quite a lot of work when we take these deals on. But yeah, you can look forward to Doncaster. It is looking a good deal in terms of if we can agree prices, especially around the sort of £130,000 mark, and then we can get the green light and get the management team to sort out the figures. But again, we want to be aiming for that sort of 10% net return and above. And you tend to get that in these type of areas, especially around the £120,000 to £130,000 mark, like we've seen in Hull and Preston and other areas that we've been involved in. Other areas to keep your eye on. We've got one coming up in Hertfordshire. It's in the Greater London area. Now, we very rarely take on anything down south. I think the latest stuff we've had is Horsham, the ones in Luton that we had, just because the price makes sense. Now, we do have a large demand for London for short-term lets. I think the average nightly rate is £170 in London, so it's well worth looking at. However, if you're paying £500,000 or £1 million for a property, it needs to be in an incredibly high demand area for short-term lets for the yields to actually make sense. Now, we've got a deal coming up in London, well, Greater London, not officially London, Greater London area, Hertfordshire. You're looking at prices from around sort of £280,000 to £290,000. So again, obviously a lot higher than the northern areas, but the higher nightly rate does warrant that higher yield. I know as an AST, it's working at around a gross 5% yield as a normal let. So even that is pretty good for the area. Really good prices as well, looking at the comparables when I've looked at the paperwork. And again, short-term lets is something that we want to do and move on. We do want to venture down south, just that the deal's got to make sense in terms of price point and again with the lease, as you're aware of. Now, the big one I want to be telling you about is Warrington. If you've been in my emailing loop, and apologies to if anyone on YouTube, this deal came and it sold out straight away. Within the first week of us launching our properties that we've got in Warrington, we had 5 apartments in total. They sold out straight away. Price point between £100,000 and £130,000. Again, that sweet spot in terms of price point. Now, we had 2 sites. One was called Apex. That was in the city centre. That sold out. And we had another site called The Works, just outside the city centre. I love The Works. I like the finish, as you can see from the clips and images. Beautiful site. Comes with parking as well. Now, although it's just outside the city centre, it's close connection to the city itself, but it's very close to the motorway, close to the likes of the Premier Inn and the new business park as well. That's in Warrington as well. So Warrington's quite a massive transport hub. If you're getting a train from the likes of the northwest in general, you always have to change at Warrington. If you're trying to travel to the likes of London, Euston, or even Birmingham Central as well, you have to change at Warrington. Same for Chester. If you're coming from the likes of Wigan and those type of areas, you've got to change at Warrington just to even get to Chester, where we're actually based. So quite a lot of pulling power from a short-term let's point of view. The Premier Inn hotel just around the corner from the likes of The Works makes you, obviously they don't build these hotels if there's no demand for short-term lets. But we have just sold out on all of them. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is we are trying to get the developer who built these sites to sell and give us 6 more apartments. Now, even if we can just agree 3 or 4 of these apartments, we know they are perfect for you guys as an investment and perfect for us on the management. I mean, the logistics, it's just basically in the middle of Preston and everything else we've got in the northwest and Chester where we're based. So from a logistic point of view, it makes sense. And from a demand point of view, I know Warrington really well growing up in that area. The rugby, all the events they've got, the street festivals that go on in Warrington as well. You've got so many restaurants and night festivals. So if you like music and stuff like that, Warrington's perfect for that as well. So quite a lot of pulling power from a short-term let's point of view. Again, matching with the likes of Manchester with nightly rates from £80 upwards to £140 per night. I mean, to give you an idea, during the summer periods when they do have these events, nightly rates shoot up to £180 a night, and this speaks for the same as the likes of Hull, and it speaks the same to the likes of Lytham as well. But as you're aware, we do like to go on an average nightly rate throughout the year, be conservative, maximise the bills a little bit just so you've got a bottom line income. But again, you're still looking at 10% net return quite comfortably in Warrington. So again, look forward to that. The reason I mention that is we're going to get the news Wednesday next week if we are to take on more properties in the Warrington area. So look out for my email if you're in my email. If you are interested, again, please let me know on option 1 or 2. You can quickly email me at chris.smith@propertyinvestmentcontact.com. That's my personal email and, of course, my personal website, Property Investment Contact. If you are interested in any of those options. If you're on my emails anyway, send me an email what option you're interested in, or if any of the deals upcoming that you're interested in, and we'll take it from there. I do again want to apologise for the delay this summer. Having a newborn son, is it nocturnal you call it? He just sleeps throughout the whole day and he's awake from 12 a.m. right down till 4 a.m. in the morning. Plus we're moving as well, and the other children. It's just, it's been hectic for the last couple of months. Massive news though, that my son's arrived. He's only 7 weeks old now. So a big smile on my face. Another boy added. We outnumber the girls now in the house, so I'm an happy man. But sorry about the delay. I will plan to and get these videos across to you every single month the best that I can. But I think it was important to get those upcoming deals to you as well. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll hopefully be in touch again next month. I can't see why not. I don't think I'm planning on having any more children. Let me know how you get on. All right, speak soon. Thanks, guys.